Hello and welcome to another Andy's Chomping at the Bit, brought to you by Big Andy Media, the official sponsor of every Andy's Chomping at the Bit Friday episode. So today I decided I'm going to talk about hope. And the reason is because with our society getting ever more extreme thinking, which was the previous episode, the result of not getting necessarily what we want or things going not the way we had hoped um, often results in us giving up hope, or at least losing a good chunk of it. And I feel personally that it's because we take so much emphasis on a short amount of topics in our life, and we put all these hope eggs into those baskets, just the one or two baskets. So when one or both of them fall apart, there goes all of our hope. We don't, I guess we don't spread it out as far as um, within the smaller aspects of our life. And this kind of will tie in with gratitude also, which I'll probably do an episode. Maybe next week will be gratitude. That'll be a good one to transition with. But when we lose hope, we lose sight of some of the things that matter most in our life that we overlook. That's why it ties in with gratitude. I can honestly say that leading into my active addiction, I lost hope in certain areas um, that might have, if I retained it, or if I retained more hope, I can't say for sure, but I would have been less likely to take the path that I did. Obviously, I've mentioned other struggles I had leading up to it, so I can't put it all on hope. In fact, hope probably played a bigger factor in me not getting into recovery sooner or taking the strides in recovery sooner than it did as far as me actually diving into addiction itself. But it did play a factor when you look at the future, which was often a thing I did. I still do sometimes, but not to the same extent. When you look into the future and you see uncertainty, um, when you are no longer guessing what will my life be like in 10, 20 years, and you're starting to guess, will I be around in 10, 20 years? Um, it's a scary thought, but it can take a lot of toll on your health, especially the mental side of it, um, because you start having that pessimism. You don't have much of a bright outlook. Um, because so much energy, without hope, so much energy is focused in a negative direction. And whether people want to believe it or not, your energy does play a major factor in a lot of outcomes in your life. If you if you go through life with with negative thoughts, I guess you could say, with doubting yourself or the world around you, uh, going into things like you're destined to fail. Um, well, that energy often leads you to fail. That energy makes your life a lot harder, and I obviously I'm not by any means uh, an expert on the matter, but I can say at least personally, when I started gaining belief in myself, started regrowing or regaining that hope, the positive energy started being a focus of mine, focusing on gratitude, focusing on what I have, in general, and starting to see the positives of what could be instead of worrying about what in the negative manner could be. So so hope plays a factor in that, and so like I was saying with the positive energy, positive energy brings positive results also. Um, it I've been now, like I've said previous, I've been clean and sober for over 2 years. Something I could honestly say would have been a long shot in my mind just a year and a half ago. I would have been hopeful, but you know, I'd have used the word hopeful. It would have been more doubtful. Um, but when you believe and you work at something, it's possible. And sorry, but hope carries over than more than just in my addiction recovery, and in everyone's life it plays a factor. Um, I'm not going to go deep into it because I don't want this show to be anything about politics or religion or anything else that can divide people in such polar opposite directions. Um, but based on that very thing, polar opposite directions, we have that we a lot of people put a lot of hope into things like politics. And don't get me wrong, it's important. By all means, who we have representing us is important. But when we say if it's either this way or everything's falling apart, if it's either this way or we're doomed, everyone's going, obviously things can be bad one way or the other depending on your viewpoint. But losing hope over something like that, putting so much into it that if you do not get your way, everything's crumbling. it it's too much of a gamble in my mind. And not saying the actual political thing in general. I'm saying putting that much emphasis as far as how your life will be based on one thing. Something you have a say in, but you have actually very, very, very little control of the outcome. You can do things. I'm not gonna go too in depth again, but you can do things like campaigning. You can do door to door. You can use your time and your energy to influence. But at the end of the day, you have, assuming you're registered, one vote, right? And there's millions others that might vote with or against you. Just it's the reality of it. So, but putting that much emphasis on something you don't have, or that much value on something you don't have a ton of control on, um, I just feel it's costly to put all that many eggs in one basket, regardless of how important it is. So, so I think I want to discuss here a bit on other areas of that you can have hope. You know, on a smaller scale, instead of going on the macro level of politics, or some people even go to sports in today's world for extreme thinking. One bad game, oh, that's all over. No, there's a lot more than just one game or one bad pass. If it's football, that's that's a more friendly example for hope. But you look at the littler things. Um, sorry, some of the smaller accomplishments that can be achieved. Like let's go into. I'll use my life as an example. Obviously, um, so when I had applied, when I decided that I was no longer going to do my strictly jingle writing and broadcast consulting business, and decided to, for a while there, I was searching for IT careers. Um, I I knew that um, I knew that I wanted a job nearby, and I'd got an offer for a very, well, at least it seems like a good one. I'm not sure if it was or not, but I'll never know now. I got an offer, and then it was rescinded because of something in my background, which I think I covered in the past. They wanted me for today. Something from the past stopped them from being able to. Um, I can live with that. But anyway, I didn't put all of my hope into that position when I was offered it. Even when I was interviewing and everything, I didn't put all of my eggs in that basket. I knew I still had opportunity elsewhere. As far as, I knew that I was talented as far as my creative side. I knew I could sing. I knew I could speak. I knew I could act. Um, there's a lot still on the table available. There's other IT jobs out there, still are. Um, so, so when I got the news that it was rescinded, I was able to stay afloat. And I also used moments of gratitude to get through that. I understood that I still had a roof over my head. I still had a great support network. And that alone, a support network alone should be a reason to have hope. As long as you have a support network, even if you're not struggling with addiction or don't have any mental health diagnosis, support is still valuable. Having people that you can share with, having people that are there to, at the very least, comfort you when you're having a bad day. And everyone has bad days. Everyone needs support. I don't care how big and macho you think you are. Everyone needs support. The level of it, the way that you get it, that can obviously be debated, and can go individual. But everyone needs it. It's reality, whether you like it or not. um, so, where's it going with that? Anyway, so going on the support, how valuable it is as far as hope. As long as you have other people with you in your corner, in some way or another, or you have a source of support and a way of hearing and sharing. So, and there's always that availability. If you're watching this, then you obviously have internet access, and therefore you can find support online at the very least. I assure you there's someone nearby that also is there to support you no matter where you are. You just might not see it in the moment, but this isn't about support just alone. This is about hope. But knowing you're not alone, that should give you hope, because other people are there to comfort you. Other people are there to at the very least give you emotional support if you ask for it. There's resources out there to help you get up if you look for it, if you ask for it, if you're willing to accept it. So hope is available on the small scale. Like I said, that's just one example. Another reason to have hope for me, I woke up this morning. I was able to get out of bed. I was able to pray. I was able to work out. I was in good health. I am in good health. That's one heck of a good thing to look forward on. As long as I can still move and breathe and think, independently, and be able to rationally process stuff in at least the smallest manner, as long as I can do something as far as that goes, I have reason to believe in a positive future. I have a reason to hope for things to continue to improve, or at the very least maintain. It's not always bad to maintain. There's a lot of other areas I can grow other than maybe, like the financial area. If it stays the same, if it goes down, I'm going to grow mentally regardless. I shouldn't say regardless. There are certain, obviously, diseases and conditions that can cause the otherwise. But with every experience I make, every mistake, every accomplishment, I learn, I grow. It's a beautiful thing. And so that gives me hope, knowing that I can continue to grow no matter how good or how bad things are. I know that I'll grow from it. I know that I'll learn from it. I might not always apply it right away, but that in itself is a learning process. So when things don't go your way on the big scale, this is kind of the main thing, whether it be your favorite sports team, whether it be something going on the political stage, nationwide, statewide, locally, within your neighborhood. It doesn't matter as far as what level. Know that when things don't go your way and things look dark or shady, and you're not seeing a positive future in the long haul, or even if you're afraid of the short haul, focus on the things that you do have. Focus on the things that are positive. After September 11th, 2001, I remember, I can't remember what channel it was, but Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, was interviewed about his take on the matter, and he said, I remember him saying, when he was a child and bad things happened, his mother had told him, focus on the helpers, look for the helpers. And by that, essentially, when you look for the good in the world instead of dreading and focusing on the negative, when you find the helpers, that should be hope for you. That should give you the confidence, the faith to know that no matter how much you're struggling, no matter how much the world may be struggling, there's still good out there. Things can still be good. Positive change can still happen. Positive growth can still happen. So I feel that was very important in today's climate, and I didn't want to wait too long to get this topic because, you never know who could help today, and maybe next week would be too late for someone. So I'm putting it out there now. I would greatly appreciate it if you know someone who's struggling with this manner, to let them know about it. Give them the give them the opportunity to um, to see this and have a better idea of have a better idea that they're not alone, and there's different ways to see things. But anyway, that's today's Andy's chomping at the bit. I wanted to reach out and tell you guys I appreciate everyone who took the time to tune in last Sunday on the Singing for a Cause requested live performance. If you didn't tune in, that's fine as well. You can still view it via Andy Schiffer musician band page, and I believe I also have it on Big Andy Media page. So you can go there and you can watch the former show, and you still have the ability, if you want to make a donation via that way, or you can go to, I think it was Save the Music Foundation for this September. So you can still go to their website. You can go to bigandymedia.org, buy the CD, album, digital download, pay what you want. That goes to the charity as well. So you have a lot of options on that if you want to still do that. It will change at the end of September, though. Then it will become, well, I'm not going to tell you who the next charity is yet. I'll probably announce it near the end of next week. So stay tuned for that as well. But yeah, I wanted to say thank you guys for the great support as far as that goes. Every little bit helps. Every little bit, gives me the drive to keep going, and it makes it possible for other people to get something out of it as well. So once again, thank you for your support. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys again next week Monday, for another, as well as next